water the life giver. With man's careful guidance, it turns prairie into paradise and desert into garden, as it has here in Southern California. Every day, each of us uses 10 times our own weight in water, directly or indirectly. Where does it come from, and how does it reach us, this water of life, this water for Los Angeles?
This is Los Angeles, a metropolitan area that is home to over 13 million people as of 2025. Every day, the Los Angeles Aqueduct pumps out about 447 million gallons of water to the thirsty residents and crops of this part of the planet. Approximately 163 billion gallons of water per year, a staggering amount. But in 1790, Los Angeles only consisted of about 315 residents, and the aqueduct would not be built for another 120 years in 1913. So how did these early people get clean drinking water? And how was water managed and distributed around the Los Angeles area as it rapidly grew throughout the 1800s? This is the story of the Zanja Madre, the first water system of Los Angeles, a precursor to the famous Los Angeles Aqueduct. Completely forgotten to history and only recently rediscovered underneath the busy streets of Los Angeles. Today I will dive into its history, retrace its route, and try to find the few remaining signs of this once vital piece of Los Angeles infrastructure. Welcome back to Waste Media. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications every time I post. It is the year 1781, and Los Angeles is officially founded as a Spanish colonial settlement. The Spanish crown wanted to expand its hold and influence over Alta California at the time, and Governor Felipe de Neve was tasked with establishing a new pueblo that would provide food and resources for nearby missions and presidios. Presidios were basically military installations/settlements intended to secure and defend Spain's claim to territories occupied by indigenous populations. 11 families from Mexico were recruited to start the pueblo, and upon arrival they began digging the first ditches for irrigation. The area near the Los Angeles River was chosen for its rich soil and potential for irrigation. This early ditch system would become the Zanja Madre, the lifeblood of the early settlement of Los Angeles. The Zanja Madre is Spanish for the mother ditch. The Zanja Madre was not just a simple ditch. It utilized gravity and strategic placement to deliver water throughout the settlement. The system began with a dam, which was constructed beneath the Elysian Hills near the Los Angeles River. Right here is the LA River. The original dam was built right at the base of this hill, around where this bridge is now. This structure diverted water from the Los Angeles River into a network of open-air canals that extended throughout the pueblo. A large wooden water wheel was constructed near the beginning of the Zanja by the river to help lift water to higher ground and direct its flow more efficiently into the system. The town's first reservoir was also built near the main plaza, storing water for household use and further distribution. Initially, the Zanja was an open dirt trench that required regular maintenance, but over time the system was improved with lined ditches, wooden pipes, and eventually enclosed brick conduits/pipes to prevent contamination and water loss. By 1888, the Zanja Madre had grown to an extensive system that spanned 52 miles within the city and another 40 miles beyond, making it a vital piece of early Los Angeles infrastructure. The Zanjero, or water overseer, would become a highly respected and well-compensated position in Los Angeles during this time. The Zanjero was responsible for regulating water flow, maintaining ditches, and ensuring the limited supply was evenly distributed. Although the system was advanced for its time, collecting water was still labor-intensive. Households would either fetch water directly from the Zanja or rely on water peddlers, workers who transported water in large barrels via horse-drawn carts. As demand increased, water wheels were introduced to lift water to higher elevations, further extending the reach of the system. William Mulholland began his career as a deputy Zanjero for the privately held Los Angeles Water Company. In 1878, he was tasked with maintaining the city's main water supply between Crystal Springs and Griffith Park, and the downtown area near Olivera Street. The Zanja ditch ran parallel to the Los Angeles River and required constant upkeep, especially during heavy rains when the river overflowed, or during dry seasons. William Mulholland was actually one of the main people to push towards a new water system. He had started his career in LA as a deputy Zanjero, which worked beneath the main Zanjero. The Zanjero was in charge of taking care of the Zanja, so there was multiple deputy Zanjeros assigned to certain areas. William Mulholland's area was near Griffith Park. It was between Griffith Park to right around where I am at right now, by Elysian Park. That section of the ditch would often get damaged by floods. The LA River would overflow. At the time, the river was not channelized yet, so there was no concrete on the sides, and it would often overflow whenever there was a really rainy season. And that would destroy the Zanja in that area, which would affect all of LA. I also have a video on William Mulholland and on the St. Francis Dam collapse, which was a dam he constructed near Santa Clarita, and it collapsed and over 600 people died, and it was kind of the end of his career. So if you want to see a video about that, check out the channel. That video is called St. Francis Dam Disaster. Mulholland would become known as Big Bill, quickly gaining reputation for his work ethic and problem-solving abilities. He immersed himself in the study of water systems, reading technical literature, and learning from experienced workers. His hands-on expertise and sharp memory set him apart, earning him increasing responsibility. In 1886, he was named superintendent of the Los Angeles Water Company, a position he would hold for over 4 decades. He would later go on to develop the plans for and oversee the construction of the Los Angeles Aqueduct, which would completely revolutionize the Los Angeles area and provide the water it needed to explode into the megacity it has become today. Be on the lookout for my Los Angeles Aqueduct video, which I will be releasing soon. Back to the Zanja. During the Great Flood of December 1889, the Los Angeles River changed course and cut through the Zanja Madre, filling the conduit with sand and severing the city's water supply. This event was a turning point, exposing the vulnerability of the aging system and accelerating the push for a more modern infrastructure. As Los Angeles continued to expand, the limitations of the Zanja Madre became more apparent. The city's growing population placed immense strain on the open ditch system, which was never designed to support such large-scale needs. One of the biggest issues was contamination. As the city grew, so did the problem of waste disposal. The Zanjas quickly became dumping grounds for human waste, industrial byproducts, and trash. Disease outbreaks, including cholera, were linked to the polluted water supply, prompting urgent calls for reform. Additionally, the open nature of the Zanjas made them inefficient. Water seeped into the ground and was lost to evaporation, requiring continuous maintenance to keep the flow steady. With increasing demand, it became clear that Los Angeles needed a more reliable and sanitary system to meet its water needs. The introduction of iron pipes and pressurized water systems in the late 19th century marked the beginning of the end for the Zanja Madre. These modern innovations could transport water more efficiently and hygienically, ensuring a consistent supply without the contamination risks associated with open ditches. By the 1880s, much of the city's water supply had transitioned to a network of underground pipes, controlled by the privately held Los Angeles Water Company. The final blow came in 1904, when city officials declared the Zanja Madre obsolete and abandoned it in favor for a more advanced municipal water system. By the time the aqueduct was completed in 1913, the Zanja Madre was nothing more than a forgotten relic of the past. Some sections were repurposed as storm drains, while other sections were buried underneath a growing city. For decades, the Zanja Madre remained hidden beneath Los Angeles, forgotten by almost everyone. However, in recent years, sections of this historic water system have been discovered, often by accident during different construction projects across the city. One of the most notable rediscoveries occurred in 2014. During the excavation for Blossom Plaza in Chinatown, workers unexpectedly struck a large subterranean brick pipe, measuring about 5 feet across. It was soon identified as a section of the Zanja Madre. There is also a section of the Zanja Madre that has been preserved near the modern-day Los Angeles State Historic Park. On Olvera Street, there is also a brick outline that traces the original path of the Zanja Madre. These seem to be the only remaining signs of this once massive piece of infrastructure. Forgotten to history, the Zanja Madre lays buried beneath the very city that it was created to sustain. The Zanja ran right at the bottom of this hill towards LA. So this plaza is where they uncovered a huge section of the Zanja when they were building this, I think around 2012. And here's the original path. You can see the brickwork they did. 123 years it was used.